Gaylord and the Squeaky Deek are really going at it out there. Or in there. Okay. All righty. So we are going to move it, move it. Lots of movement. Ah, there you go. I know. Well, now we're going live. And I have you like mini, so I couldn't tell. But feel free to unmute at any point and say whatever you want to say. Um, yeah, the cats. I'm just going to give you there's one. There's another sneaking around under there, stalking. And then the little white one is behind the camera. Okay, so we're actually going to start seated today. And I'm going to sit on my block. And I'll just say that this block is kind of small. I would go for a bigger block if possible, but this is what I got. So this is what I'm sitting on. And you could also not sit on a block. You could do this with no block. It would not be the end of the world. So I'm going to sit up tall and just start with exhaling, hollowing in, and inhaling chest, lungs, heart up to the ceiling or the sky. Exhale, hollow scoop, surrender. Let your head drop down. Let your shoulders relax. Inhale, lift, chest, lungs, heart, open. Exhale, hollow, curling. Inhale, lift, arch, open. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, lift and open. And then we're just going to change it. You're going to inhale up, lift your chest, get long, let your arms really travel up. So you're not trying to stabilize your shoulders. You're reaching out and up. And then exhale, spiral, check out the space behind you. Inhale, let it all go up. Lift, look up. Exhale, spiral and twist. Inhale, look, lift, like a little kid reaching up to your parent. Exhale. Maybe that's a bad image. Let's make it a loving image. Reach and open. Exhale, spiral. Inhale. Reach it out and up. Exhale, spiral. Inhale, lift. Exhale, spiral. We're going to change it. Take it down. Relax your head. And just let your head drop from side to side. Not let your head drop. Let your spine snake from side to side. So from your tail to your head, shifting your weight, letting your rib cage, lungs, heart free up, and also letting your scapula on the back of your body have some movement, right? We want to have the movement for them to be able to go up, down, in, out. I was reading this thing by the Pole Physio, which is on Instagram, and she was talking about being in hangs and how important it is for us to let our tissue be up here as well as down here. So we don't always want to be shoulder pulling down. We want to let things move up so that the tissue in our body has that movement. And I just want to add to this because I was listening to the Huberman podcast on longevity, health, so there's like your lifespan and then there's your health span. And he was talking about it's basically a kind of X-ray that looks at your whole body and looks at the density of your body. So the most dense place is going to show up white. The most light place, like your lungs full of air, is going to be black. And in between, we have all these differing differentiation of density of tissue. So I want to say that we think that bone density is super important, but also like the strength and the capacity for movement of our fascia is going to be something that's connected into that bone health, right? How our fascia pulls on our bone is how our bones learn to form and to be denser. So all of this is super important. So sometimes we think it's one thing, but really it's a bigger picture than that. It's not just the bone density, it's the bone density, it's the fascia having capacity for movement, and also like we don't want to always have our shoulders shoved down. We want them to be able to rise as well. So let's just do that. You're going to really drop your shoulders down and then lift your shoulders. Take your arms up. Drop your shoulders. Let the arms come down. Lift your shoulders. Let that initiate the arms coming up. Drop your shoulders. Let the arms come down. So shoulder blades up. Shoulders to your ears. Reach. Just stay up there. Reach longer through one side. Reach longer through the other. Reach, right? We want to have the full reach, and we also want to have the part will retract down, but we don't want to always be in that retracted position. We want the capacity for movement for both directions of that, right? We have resilience. Yeah, it can stretch longer because if I always pull down, the tissue doesn't have the capacity to reach out and up, right? It's going to be too constricted. So we want that in our fascia, in our joints, this capacity to do both things, right? Some people are too hypermobile and they need to kind of rein in a little bit, but most people are too reined in and could benefit from a little bit more freedom in their bodies. All right, that's enough of that lecture. Let's internally rotate the legs and then externally rotate. Lift chest, lungs, and heart. Exhale, internal rotation and external rotation. Oh, this is where I go, oh my God, I have a hole in the crotch of my pants. So I am going to be making a quick change. I'll be right back. All right, new trousers. It wasn't much. You couldn't see anything. I just didn't feel like having it expand bigger. I remember having a French teacher, Madame Jury, who had this pair of black pants with a hole in the crotch, and she'd sit on her thing, and nobody said anything. I mean, she had her white underwear on. We didn't see anything. She wasn't particularly hot, but it was like, oh. I've also seen this on dancers. Side side, stretching over to the side, inhale, open. Not so much female dancers, but male dancers seem to be unaware of their wardrobe. Although I did talk about this with another dancer, and they're like, no, he totally knows. It's just sharing it all, letting it all hang out. So who knows? Awareness, awareness. Ha. What are we noticing? What are we oblivious to? Let's circle the whole way around. Sideways, coming to the front, shifting around, and inhale, open up. Go the other way. Sideways, take it forward, all the way around, and inhale. We usually do this exercise with the legs crossed. Just feel how different it is here with this much bigger sort of tripod of support of the feet and the butt. Feel how that feels in your body in comparison to the cross-legged version. Ha, sweeping around, opening up, rib cage, lungs, heart, extensors of the spine, getting a little stretch there, and then we lengthen up, right? We go sideways, inner body, quadratus lumborum, and then we go around here. We're stretching out the back body. Last one. I feel like with this bigger base of support, I can get more swing and freedom in my head than when I'm in the cross-legged position. All right, let's come off of the block. This block has been very abused by the little white cat. There are bite marks and scratch marks all over it. Take it down onto the floor and just give everything a shake. Relax it all. Feel your body on the floor. In the Laban work, we talk about bony landmarks. So the bony landmarks are the places where you can like feel your bones connected to the floor. So you could probably feel the back of your hip bones, your ASIS, your heels, your calcaneus, your shoulder blades, also known as scapula, back of your cranium, maybe your elbows, knuckles. Let the bone weight drop into the floor for a second. So big breath in. The breath brings us some lightness, lifting us away from the floor. And on the exhale, we sink into the floor, sinking into our bones, into the density of our bones, and the interrelationship of the fascia as it connects into bone, right? So there's different ways that that connects into bones. Let's spiral as I talk about this, just releasing inner thighs and lower back. So there's like the perifascia, which is like this the muscle, the fascia that's right next to bone, just connecting like seamlessly in. And then there's like the tendons, which are connecting the muscles to the bones in like a big long way, not the side stuff. So like let's say this is my bone and the muscles here. So I'm going to have tendons going in. But underneath along here is the perifascia connecting whatever's next to the bone. And then also we have ligaments, which are connecting bone to bone. Let's take this spiral a little deeper. Kitty just out of reach. Oh, let that open up. So this really stretches out the space between my shoulder blades on the floor, kind of massages out my rhomboids, but also like giving me that big spiral. Good. And then let's come in, taking our legs down below us. We're going to do a Bartenia heel rock. Try to relax your body as much as you can. We're increasing the fluidity of your awareness, sensation, and flow in your body. Like if we become very rigid, there's not a lot of flow, right? We're going to let go of that tension, let our body have some freedom and mobility, right? Take away your idea of what your body should look like and just let it be what it is. Give your body freedom to express as it is without having to fix it, change it, objectify it. Go into the feeling state of being in your body. So it's a process that you are participating in. Oh, here we are together, me and my body. We will be sharing this space my whole life. Is there a difference between me and my body? It's, who knows? I mean, I'm sure we could talk in many religious, theological ways about the differences, but that's a split. That's a way of splitting things. Really, it's one whole process existing in this world with everybody else. Let's press up and circle with the hips, mobilizing your pelvis. As you're mobilizing your pelvis, feeling your weight shift from one leg to the other, from one foot to the other, feeling the relationship of the big basin of your pelvis, rib cage and lungs, head, cranium, brain, change direction. So as my pelvis is moving, if I move it really big, my head is working in sort of a counterbalance with that. I could not let my head move, but it feels really good to let it move. So it's kind of going away from my pelvis. Just feel what your body wants to do naturally. Change it again, change direction. See what's happening. What feels like it makes sense. So much of how we learn often is like somebody telling you what your body is supposed to look like and feel like, and what does it feel like in your own body? What makes sense to you? Good, shift direction again if you haven't, or just press up if you're even, and then try pushing forward and backwards. So letting yourself pull with your legs and then push back. Pulling and pushing. Pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing. And then release, come all the way down. Take a happy baby. Stretch it out in whatever way feels good to you. Big breathing. Opening and closing. And if it feels good and you want to try rolling back and forth, go for it. You can also go side to side if forward backward hurts. So this forward backward movement is in the sagittal plane, the wheel plane, right? We're rolling like a wheel. And the two sides of my body are organizing to keep this going forward backward, right? I'm organizing in this upper versus lower pattern with the two sides cooperating, doing the same thing. If one side does something different, I'm not going to be in that rolling pattern anymore, not the forward backward. But let's change the pattern to a side pattern. So we're going to go on to one side. Let's open all the way through the middle, fold it onto the other side. So opening and closing. rolling, pushing the floor away, folding it in. So we did an upper versus lower pattern. Now we're doing a right versus left pattern, side versus side. This is known as homolateral. Upper versus lower is homologous. And then the next pattern is going to be contralateral. So let's just go right into that. Crossing, elbow to knee, reaching out. See if you can actually touch so that your contralateral pattern is actually crossing midline, right? If I do it like this and I don't cross, it's not the same. So I'm staying open there. But if I cross, then contralateral means crossing lateral, right? Crossing midline. So let's do 20 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax down. Free up the central channel from your brain through your spinal cord out to, so your central nervous system is coming through the center. The peripheral is as it goes out into your arms, into your legs. So we're feeling that central channel and then whoosh, letting that radiate out into our arms and legs. And let's internally rotate one leg at a time here. So we're getting that inner spiral. Breathing. What we're doing with all this movement when we move in a really three-dimensional way and we keep changing the planes that we're moving in is we're giving our fascia more integrity, right? It's got more integrity if it can do different things than if it's just kind of rigidly stuck in one way. The integrity means that the hydration fluid moves through it really easily, and it can build itself, create itself in forms within our body that are supportive of our body and of our movement, not limiting and restricting us, but giving us more freedom. Feet parallel. They're going to be a little bit wider than your hips, just slightly, just like if you reach down, you can touch your heels. Pressing up again. This time, interlace your hands behind your butt. Walk your shoulders close together, rolling to the outer edge of your foot and then to the inner edge. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, pushing the floor away, feeling the foot, feeling both feet, feeling your feet on the floor. And as your weight is shifting to the inner edge of the foot, to the outer edge of the foot. And just pay attention to what part of your foot are you feeling. Do you feel your heel? Do you feel your toes? Do you feel the ball of your foot? Do you feel your instep? What are you aware of as you're feeling into your feet? Just boosting the awareness of your feet. It will give you better balance. Come into center, walk your feet in just a little bit so that maybe your lower leg is a little bit more of an angle, and then you're going to press up, tippy toes, and lower down. Going 1. Inhale up, exhale down. 2. I don't know why I'm counting. 3, 4, because I love numbers. 5, 6, heels lift, heels connect. 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to stay up and just push a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release the hands, open the shoulders. Slowly roll down into the mat, into the floor. And once we get there, take your knees in and massage out your back just by rolling across it. So you're going to do this in your own way, listening to your body. You could circle your legs, you could roll up and down, forward, backward. Listen into what is needed right now. Breathe into your body. Bring your awareness into sensation so that an exercise class can become a meditation in awareness, not I'm spacing out and objectifying myself, but I'm really being present with what I'm feeling, with what's going on, with the sensations in my body. Yeah, I saw this thing on the internet. I can't remember who the doctor was talking about, but I know who it was. It was Perry Nicholson, my favorite, the chiropractor in New Jersey. And he was saying that he was talking about a study he had read, and it was a study on somebody that had multiple personality disorder. And what he was saying was that each personality experienced the sensations in the body differently. So some were very aware of pain, some were more disassociated, some like they had different reactions to things. So it's just how much of a construct our sensation in our body is. And so if you're noticing your body, if you're feeling into it, try moving those things a little bit and see if things change. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's grab the block. Sticking your block on your pubic bone. Squeeze your legs together around your block. You're going to touch your feet down to the floor. Reach up to 90 degrees. We're going to do a shh and pulse down to 45. So it's going to go shh. Inhale. Exhale up. Inhale open. Exhale up. Inhale open. Exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's stay in this inhale for a second. You can relax your feet. Pop your ribs and then soften your ribs. Pop them out, soften them in. Pop them out, soften them in. Pop them out, soften them in. Maybe that's starting to give you the feeling of a undulation through your body. Exaggerate the undulation. So just through popping and then engaging, you can send this really like sideways lava lamp, you know, those ones that go from side to side, movement through your body, right? Giving your whole spine, your whole system more resilience, more fluidity. You can let that go, just shake it out. Yeah, I feel like in ballet class, in Pilates, they're like, knit your ribs in, tighten that up, da, da, da. And if we always are doing that and we're not giving ourselves the chance to also expand, then we are really limiting our movement, right? I think we have over core stabilized our bodies. And I think that that is part of the problem with people's capacity to deal with other people is they're too rigid. There's not a lot of fluidity, not a lot of flexibility, right? So if we get more and more rigid, and if we do a lot of work so that we have scar tissue and immobility in our faces and our stuff, we also start to lose empathy because a lot of empathy is coming through micro expression, reading other people. Yeah, I feel like the world has definitely gone really heavily into the sort of narcissistic, look at myself, look at me, I gotta be perfect, away from like, I gotta be with my tribe and play some music and bang my drum and dance, where we co-regulate together and come into a space where, okay, we're okay with ourselves, but we're in this really hyper individual craziness. Blah, 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 blah. Let's flip over. That's enough of that thinking business. And come onto hands and knees, curling your toes under, sink down into your shoulders. Let that go into an arch. In that position, let yourself move forward and backward a little bit. So you're sunk. Again, you're just letting yourself kind of hang in there, letting your guts hang out. And then tops of the feet to the floor, push, round, scoop, and move forward and backward again. Yeah, so like drums and flutes were like the first musical instruments that people had. And what do those two things do? Drums regulate the rhythm of a huge group of people. And then flutes are breath, right? We're breathing. So, and then singing, same thing. Obviously, singing came before probably either of those, or who knows. But we use those things for regulation, and humans need to co-regulate. And with the pandemic, most people haven't had much chance for that. Maybe we can co-regulate on Zoom a little bit. So let's hope, or on YouTube, that there's some co-regulation happening. Yeah, I've just shifted my pattern. It's a side-side pattern, letting one elbow dip and then the other. And then we'll take it to a downward dog. From the dog, lifting your heels as high as you can, scooping your belly in, rounding your spine, rolling it forward, rolling wave. Head forward, heels push back, drop your head, push with your arms, roll it up to the ceiling, reach through your tail, and lower your heels. Heels lift high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward. All the way, push back with your heels, find your strong plank, drop your head, push with your arms, scoop,
roll it up to the ceiling, and lower your heels. So I'm not saying don't use your muscles. Use them, but use them efficiently. Don't use them more than you have to. Use them the exact right amount for whatever it is that you're doing. But we don't want to be just holding tension in our muscles. Taking it forward into your plank. This time we're going to shift this into a side plank. 3 big arm circles there. Hello, plant. If you want to put your knee down and make it easier, go for it. And then change direction with those circles. Chest, lungs, and heart opening. Breathe into it and come back. Let's do one roll through here. And take it on to the other side. Circling again, 3 circles in one direction. Use your breath. Knee down if you need to. And then the other direction. And bring it in. Drop your head. Roll it up. Let's take one leg up. We're going to open it to the side and bring it down. So it's a leg circle, like we just did those arm circles. Up, out, down, and in. 2. We're going with sets of 3. Change direction. Other way. 1, 2, 3. Other leg. Do I have room? I think so. Up, out, down, and in. 1, 2, 3. Change direction. Other way. 1. Me and the plants. 2, 3. And relax. Coming all the way down. So that was kind of a long time on our arms. Let's take the hands behind us. Let's go into this tippy finger position and lift. Chest, lungs, and heart. Push into your hands. Open it up. Breathe. If it feels good to drop your head back, you can drop your head back. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. You can also kind of look around, just mobilizing. And then release that. Hands on your knees and scoop back, rounding your spine, using the pull to lengthen out your wrists and your shoulders, let's just circle our shoulders here. That's all this mobility stuff. So spine, shoulders, change direction. Yeah, one of my things that I've been trying to do lately, which I talk about all the time on here, is take off the backpack of other people's shit. So helps if I do a lot of shoulder work. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to let go of some of that stuff because that tends to be where it lands in my body. Also, migraines. I get migraines if I'm doing too much, maybe even of my own shit. And the things that really help me not get migraines are having really good boundaries with my family and also going to see my chiropractor. Chiropractic helps a lot for me to not have headaches. Circles. And change direction. Good. And let's do the whole thing here. So we're going to go with pointed feet, round your spine, take it down. Then you're going to reach through, lengthen your spine, flex your feet, and open up. Get tall through the center, hollow your belly in, curl, roll it down, reach it out, lift, chest, lungs, and heart opening up. Point your toes as you curl. Take it down, reach it out, flex, lift, and open. Point, hollow, curl. Reach it out, lift and open, point, hollow, curl, reach it out and come in. Rib cage, lungs, and heart circling. So I could think I'm circling my pelvis. I could circle my ribs. Just feel into that. Go try back and forth with pelvis and then ribs. And then change direction. Where is the circle happening? Low down, in the middle, or high? All 3 places. When I think ribs, it's a lot bigger.
And then let's take our hands behind our head, down and up. You could either inhale down and exhale up or vice versa. Exhaling, inhaling. Let's change it. We're going to take it over to the side, reach it out, and open up. Fold the elbows to the side, reach it out, lift, open. Bend your elbows to the side, reach, open it up, bend, side, reach, open it up. Two more, and last one. And release. Let's bring the legs in. Maybe not all the way, but to something a little more conservative. Let's bend and twist. When you're in that bend and twist, just take that knee and turn it in and out a little bit. And then switch it to the other side. Same thing. Bend, twist. Letting that knee assist the spiral. And also getting that internal and external rotation in the hip socket. So all of this leg stuff that we've been doing, which has involved a lot of internal, external rotation, is really for the integrity of your femur head, the integrity of the tissues, your knees, your ankles, all this stuff. Also, we were doing all of this kind of stuff, releve and lower from our bridge position. All right, let's come onto our hands again and knees. Open the hands a little wider. Big circles with your chest down to the floor and up. Pushing the floor away with your arms. 4 or 5 in one direction and then change direction. Telling yourself that you have strong, healthy arms that connect in through your shoulders in a really good way, right? Whether it's true or not, tell yourself that. Strong, healthy arms connecting in. Let's go bring your hands underneath you, bring your knees underneath you. We're going to go out and in and out and then change. Out, in, out, change. So opposite arm to leg. Out, in, out. Out, in, out. Out, in, out. Out, in. Feel free to add more spinal movement so it's more of an arch, curl, arch, arch, curl, arch, arch, curl, arch, arch, curl, arch. One more time each side. Out, in, out. Last one. Out, in, out. And relax. Oh yeah, my knee is not totally better, but it is way better than it was. So I can actually go into deep flexion, but I can still feel just the difference and see the difference between my two knees. I do want to do more arm work, but let's come onto our sides first. So onto your side. Let's do this. Let's come up into a elbow. So here we want our shoulder to be connecting in. So we're not sinking into it, but we're pushing the floor away with that arm. Bottom knee is going to be bent. Top arm and leg reach back and pull in. Reach into the back space. Hollow in. Open, close. Open, close. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And come onto the other side. Swing it around. Other side. Think of actively pushing into the floor with that arm. Gotta negotiate my space with my couch. All right, reaching it out. In, inhale, open, exhale, close.
Last one. And come down. So yeah, just being on my tibialis anterior in that position, this whole big muscle that's up the outside of my shin, I can feel that what my weight being here on that muscle is doing to that tissue. It's giving it some compression and a little bit of shear, right? It's requiring the tissue to have some uh, structure, form, and resilience. So that's why we want to keep moving in all these different ways, right? Where we're this way, that way, this way. And when we're shifting from plane to plane, it's even better. So let's do the arm stuff. Let's just do regular push-ups. So I have a few different versions of push-ups that I do. If I go wider, I'm working more in my pec and my uh, biceps maybe. And then if I'm closer in, it's going to be a little bit more tricep. I'm going to do pecs this time. You can do whatever you want. And I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just doing push-ups. If you want to do knee drops, if you want to change it in any way, feel free to do that. I'm going simple and basic. And I'm going to do a set of 10. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come up and out of it. Yeah, so I feel like it's super important to even do the things that we feel like really not a big fan of push-ups. But if it means that you just do them like this for a while, that's fine. We still want to be building that density, and we can do a lot with our body weight. All right, one thing on our bellies. Come all the way down. We are going to interlace the hands behind our back, some old school Pilates. Inhale, up. Exhale, double pulse, pulse, pulse. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Use your breath. Change your hand so the non-dominant hand is in front. If it feels weird, it's right. 2 more. Last one. Undo it. Hands next to your chest. Come all the way up. Look up. Take it back into a child's pose. Breathe and relax. Wiggle around. Soften, melt. Couple of big, deep breaths. Tuning into the sense of growing and shrinking with the breath. So the whole bubble of your body is getting bigger on the exhale, a little smaller on the, bigger on the inhale, smaller on the exhale. I should be able to see from across the room, if we were in the room together, whether you're inhaling or exhaling when you're in this position. And then we'll take it forward. And let's go into our downward dog one more time. Just stretching into the dog. In this position, push with your arms and then sink. Push and sink. I'm going to show you from this way what I'm doing. I'm pushing and then I'm drawing my shoulders wide and down. Shoulder blades up, shoulder blades down. Push, push, push. Sinking in. Pushing through, widening and sinking. Push and widen. Last one. Up and down and relax. Take a sip of water if you have some. Yeah, so that's the thing. We need the actual water hydration as well as the movement hydration. We have to have something in there to be renegotiating the space inside our body. And let's just take it into a forward fold. Taking it down. You can walk your butt from side to side. Let go. Breathe. Tell yourself it's okay. I'm right here. and I am letting go. You can have a little bit of micro movement in there. Big breathing down into your belly. Use the breath to shift the inner space. When the inner space is shifting, there's room to make big changes. And at the same time, if we change things too quickly, it's really hard to adapt to that. So slow changes, slow adaptation, where we're not just shoving it all in too quickly or expecting too much from our animal body, right? It doesn't move at the same speed as technology. Take it down to the floor. Let your bone weight really drop into the floor. And then think of letting your body become very fluid, allowing the fluids in your body to move you. So it's not my muscles and my, you know, tension moving my body. It's freedom and flow moving my body. Just allowing that in. Allowing in, like prying open the idea of what movement is and giving it more expansiveness, giving it more possibility. Can I just move in a very fluid, liquid way where I'm not overseeing my muscles working, but I'm allowing movement to bubble up freely from the fluids in my body. Just inviting in more resilience and allowing yourself to move in any way that feels good with that. Like as soon as I get into this kind of flow, my arms just are like, they're ready to conduct the whole orchestra. So let yourself take it in and be enliven with possibility. And if you notice something clamping down or some resistance or some rigidity, just notice it. That's fine. We can have that. We're allowed. Giving yourself permission to just be who you are right now in this moment without having to fix it or objectify it or change it or tell yourself everything that's wrong with you. Just allow yourself to be in the fluids. You can move more, wiggle around. If some part of your body needs to adjust or you just need to do some kind of stretch, do it. Listen to what your body is asking. Just taking in this idea of internal freedom. So for me, yeah, I'm just like massaging through my back as I roll across one side. So I'm talking a lot about the fluids, but I can also we talked about sort of the density, which is kind of the earth element. We could think of just pouring the weight like lava, which is kind of fluid, fire, and earth, right? We've got the heat, and we have the flow of lava, which has fluidity, and then we have like that dense material that's going to turn into really, well, maybe denser, maybe porous rock, depending on how it's cooled. Ah, breathing, letting it go. Using the elements as resources for your being. Like, if I think of my fiery nature, the fiery parts about me, I can get into action, or I can like burn off steam, whatever. I can let things burn through, move through. Or if I get into the earthy aspect, I can slow down. I can become more grounded. I can tune to the gravitational pull of the earth. And if I need some airy creativity, I can just tune into my breath and the wind, right? So we've got all these possibilities. Fluid, relationship, going with the flow, being flexible, or being in the what is. All right, that's enough of my lecturing on that. Let's come up onto our legs. Just shift from side to side. Feel your weight shifting. Feel the fluids in your body going from one side to the other. And then slowly roll it up through your spine, coming all the way up to the top. And inhale, open, open, open. Exhale, just give a little shake. Let go of anything. Shake off anything that did not suit you. Inhale, open. Any extra tension. See if you can relax your neck, tongue, and face. Inhale, open. Shake it out. We are here. Oh, it's Monday. Half the neighborhood is doing yard work right now, which I don't know how much you can hear of that. Probably not a whole lot. and nobody's in TV land with me. If you watch this on the replay, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. She might be into this, or your daughter, or your husband, whatever. Share the moves. All right, I'm going to stop the live stream. And also, before I stop the live stream, you can support me on Patreon. You can also buy me a coffee or